Good afternoon everyone, welcome back to Planet Coaster and welcome back to the Sorder Ride recreation. Today, in the first part of the episode, I'm going to be doing my second attempt at the indoor section. In the comments of the previous video, I saw a lot of people saying the indoor section wasn't completely accurate. There's a lot more scenery in there on the walls. The initial drop wasn't steep enough. So in this episode, it is mainly going to be me redoing this indoor section based on your guys' comments. I really do want to make this as accurate as possible. You also probably saw that instead of the Billy puppet, I actually have a TV screen there as well. Because in the real ride there's an animatronic Billy puppet. I think that is the actual one that they used in the films. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it is. And yeah, so I posted out on Bro Nation, and yeah, it's of course not in the video because it looked terrible. And people on Bro Nation said, you know, maybe you should do a TV screen instead. I think it might have been Silent Member that said that. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, they said do a TV screen instead, so I did that and it just looks better. It might not be accurate, it might not be how the real ride is, but yeah, it just looks better than what the Billy puppet actually was. So here you're seeing me do these new crossbows. Now I actually got it wrong. Apparently there are there are 4 crossbows on each side. Now these crossbows are actually like air cannons, they're air blasts in the real ride, and in the real ride the car actually stops here, but unfortunately we can't do that in Planet Coaster. I can only slow it down so much, just enough that it makes that heartline roll coming up. In terms of the heartline roll, I haven't actually done much edits to that. I didn't really have any problems with it. I thought it was already as accurate as possible. I did add some sound effects that you probably saw in that POV I shared. Now these sound effects are Jigsaw's laugh. No, it's not Jigsaw's laugh, it's Billy's, the Billy puppet's laugh. I also added the sound effect of these air cannons or air blasts or the crossbows, whatever you call them. Now I have added a scream sound effect to the heartline roll area because there is a body there, and in the real ride there is an actual scream. However, I don't think you can actually pick it up on the ride because you're going through a heartline roll, and something about the game engine in Planet Coaster Cobra, something about that game engine, it just doesn't pick up the audio, so you probably didn't hear that in the POV, but it is there. Now these walls, I do realise that in real life this sort of corridor is a lot more wider. I'm not sure if you can actually call it a corridor, but yeah, in Planet Coaster I wasn't able to do this. The scaling on Planet Coaster it's quite weird, and it does make it difficult to get it as accurate as possible. But you know, I can do what I do. So now I've done those crossbows, I am now starting the new sort of, I'm not really sure what to call it, like a needle board or something. And of course above that needle board are the swinging hammers. I think they're hammers or the axes. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, in a real ride they do swing, even though I've never seen them swing because I've never had a chance to go on the ride where they're actually working. And yeah, and not a lot of people actually know this, but you actually can do a flashing light on trigger in Planet Coaster. All you have to do is go into your trigger sequence and just select repeat toggle every X seconds, and now that basically allows you to have it flashing. And a lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that before until I asked for some help on the forums. Not the Planet Coaster forums, it was some other forum, I don't know. I can't really remember, but yeah, you can actually do that, and I didn't know that. So along the side of this sort of pin wall, whatever you call it, are some like ladders sort of thing. I'm still not entirely sure what it actually is. I think it's a ladder. Don't really know a lot about it, but yeah. I do realise that that ladder is clipping into the track there. I don't think this is in the video, but later on I do remove that one because yeah, it clips in the track. There you see the old Billy puppet, removing all that. Now I did replace that one with sort of a newer one. I attempted it again, but you know, once again it turned out absolutely horrible. I'll put a screenshot of the newer one. I actually posted this on Twitter and put up a poll, and I think it might have been about 90-something% saying the TV screen is better. Wow, you guys do not like my Billy Pup animatronic. No, it's really hard to do in Planet Coaster. Someone said to me, like I would have to wait for the Theme Maker's Toolkit to come in, so maybe someone could do the 3D model. But the thing is, we don't know when that's coming. That might come like late December. I don't want to wait then. I want to get this recreation done and out on the workshop as soon as possible, really, so I can start, well, not start, but focus on my other projects like Venturous and Belton Park. So here you'll see me build the catwalk, or the walkway, whatever you want to call it. Now, unfortunately, in Planet Coaster, you don't actually get to decide what side your catwalk is going on the track. Like, it just does it for you. And so I've had to manually build my own catwalk here because the game would put it on the other side, when in real life it is on that side that I'm building now. And I guess so far this has been the biggest challenge of the recreation, was finding some good lights on images of the indoor section. It's really quite hard. The only POV I found of a lights on POV was some really bad quality POV from the Daily Telegraph, and that was from way back in 2009, and it was so pixelated and so horrible, just couldn't make anything out. So I've really tried my best to get it as accurate as possible. If anyone does have any sort of behind the scenes lights on pictures, maybe comment down below, especially for the station as well. I haven't been able to find a lot of pictures of the station. You'll see me starting that now. It would really help out if anyone has videos or pictures of it. It seriously would help me a lot. So here you're seeing me start the station. Well, yeah, the station. I forgot what it was called then. So yeah, here you're seeing me start the station. Now with Planet Coaster, unfortunately you can't actually edit the size of the station platforms. So you'll see right there, the air gates are actually on the wrong side. Yes, I know that the air gates are on the other side in real life, but unfortunately due to the sizes of the station in Planet Coaster, I just haven't been able to get it to the right size. Of course, here is the operator's booth. Once again, it's so hard to get it as accurate as possible because it's so small and so compact. Not in real life. In Planet Coaster I've had to make it this compact. But yeah, it has been a challenge, I would say. Especially something like this. It's quite a challenge considering I couldn't really find a lot of pictures of the station, and I think the picture that I based most of this on was some sort of 3D model of the station that someone did for No Limits recreation, and I just went with that because it was the only good one out there. All the other ones were A, too dark, or B, really bad quality, so I haven't really been able to get it as accurate once again. If you have any pictures or videos at good quality, they're not dark, of the station, please send it in the comments below. I'll get in touch in the comments because it really would help out this recreation to get it a lot more accurate. Here I'm having a bit of sort of confusing moments. Well, I was playing around the colours of the walls, and you would see there that the colours of the walls were different, and now this is the 1.8 feature that they added, so it's no longer highlighted blue. Now there's no highlight, and I really got confused by it, like, hang on, why isn't it changing colour? I was like, oh, because they changed it. So here are the air gates, of course. I was going to use those poles, the signpost poles that are in the scenery tab, but unfortunately they're too long to actually use. They're not short enough, so I'm having to use these wooden columns, the thin ones with the spooky DLC. I think these came in for the air gates. Now of course in real life it dispatches 2 cars at a time, so you'll see me put in 2 sets of air gates down. I'm not sure why it stopped here, maybe I went up to do something, but yeah. in real life it does dispatch 2 cars at a time. Now unfortunately in Planet Coaster, once again, you cannot do that. It's annoying. The restrictions of Planet Coaster are sometimes really quite annoying, but you just gotta make do with what you have, really. And so because of that, the car is actually like in the middle. It doesn't line up with any of the air gates. So yeah, it's quite unfortunate I've had to do that, but you know, I have to work with what I have. Here I'm doing a bit of the operational stuff, getting some animatronics down with the Fort Park uniform. I do think the Fort Park uniform is a blue shirt with black trousers, so I'm just doing a bit of that. So I've finished working on parts of the station, and now what you're seeing here, I'm actually going to be starting some of the outside of the station, or the indoor section. This is the facade, is what it's known in the community, or the technical term is facade. Also here you'll see me edit the track a little bit. I realised the final turn is a bit more banked than what I already had it as. You know, I had it as quite a weak bank, or whatever you want to call it, but yeah. So I've made the banking on that final turn more steeper, and I've actually put the brake section closer to the building, just so it's more accurate. So now this is sort of the tower sort of thing. It's that part of the building that's next to the rotating blades. The Heartline roll passes through this, as well as the car that turns back into the station. So at the bottom of this sort of tower thing, should I call it a tower? I'm not sure. I mean, it's like a sort of a separate piece from the actual building itself. The Heartline roll goes through it, and it makes a really good head chopper element. And I think it's a great head chopper element. I do put my hands down, you know, all the time, so I always think, you know, I'm gonna touch it. So yeah, it's when head choppers make you put your hands down, I think they've done their job. But I'm going to shut up now. I hope you enjoy the rest of the time-lapse. We won't be doing a roundup because, you know, I've been talking to you all this time. I don't really need to do a roundup anymore. So yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of the time-lapse. There'll be a episode of Venturous coming up later this week, if I actually bother to work on it. If there's not an episode of Venturous up, you'll know why, because I couldn't be bothered to work on it. And I was actually talking to Mike Sheets as well, doing the Road to 1K interview. I was saying, you know, I build in a way that is quite weird, because I always do one project at once. I'll have an idea and then I'll do that. You know, so far this week I've been really engaged with Sword of Ride, and with Venturous I just haven't had any ideas in Venturous, so you know, I haven't really been doing that project lately. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the time-lapse. Stay tuned on Mike Sheets' channel, because I'm not sure when he's doing it, or editing it, whatever, but there will be the Road to 1K interview. We recorded that yesterday, I think. Yeah, it was yesterday. So yeah, stay tuned to that on his channel, and of course stay tuned to my channel for a Venturous episode, if it actually does come true. So yeah, thank you all for watching today's video. Enjoy the rest of the time-lapse, and I'll see you all very soon. Goodbye.